Joining me now, Liberal Senator, LNP Senator for Queensland, James McGrath, and the Managing Director of PR Council, Christy McSweeney. Let's start with Lydia Thorpe if we can, Christy. You'll recall yesterday the Prime Minister waded in on this whole shouting match out the front of a strip club. He said he hopes that Lydia gets some support. Now, I thought he was a bit soft, but she didn't think so. She's lashed out at the PM. She says, my health is not for him to comment, very inappropriate. Just another day in the colony, she said. What doesn't she get?
I have no idea, but it's very, very clear that Lydia Thorpe is not fit to hold a position in our federal parliament or any elected office around Australia. This is what happens when an electorate that's often ill-informed about the practices and the views and the choices of the Australian Greens elects people, and of course they have every right to stay in the Senate as an independent should they be removed from their own party. She's very unhinged at the moment, and I think it's really, really disappointing that the Australian taxpayers are paying someone they have to open the newspapers and see behaving like this in the CBD of Melbourne.
Senator McGrath, I tell you, if you were outside a club in Queensland abusing people at 3 a.m. in the morning, I don't think we'd have you on the show tonight. You'd probably not even be in the parliament. How does she get away with it?
I don't know, but if you're not fit to be in a strip club, you're certainly not fit to sit in the Senate of the Australian Parliament. Lydia Thorpe is demeaning not just herself, she's demeaning the Australian Parliament, she's demeaning our democracy. She thinks it's all of a joke, but it's actually, there are quite serious issues impacting her constituents in Victoria, and she should be focusing on them and not hurling racist abuse at 3 o'clock in the morning after being chucked out of a strip club. You're correct. If I behaved like that at a strip club, not that I've been to one, then I'd be hung on a lamppost by my party members.
Of course you would be. And of course, if you're on the left, don't forget notoriously Kevin Rudd went to a strip club and ended up Prime Minister. But on the left, it's okay. On the right, you'd be hung, drawn and quartered. Let's go to this issue that's come up today. The resumption of construction in Antarctica. It was halted in 2018 because of COVID, I think, but the Chinese are back at it. They're building an observatory very close to Australia and New Zealand's territorial claim. Now, Christy, what worries me here is they're not down there for the penguins, are they?
No, they're certainly not. Look, after they unsuccessfully tried for Australia to adopt the Belt and Road Initiative, which, let's be honest, Chris Bowen was quoted in the Melbourne Press a couple of years ago after Dan Andrews signed up to the deal saying, we might take a look at the Belt and Road and its benefits should we win government. We need to remember that. They were very sympathetic to it, the Labor Party. I think we certainly need to keep a close watch on this. China does not invest in infrastructure close to Australia and New Zealand and valuable defence precincts for no reason.
All right, what about this story yesterday, the IBAC report that comes out, Defiant Dan, they're calling him today. Nothing to do with us anymore, he says. There's just detail in this report that will be an education learning exercise. And then hops up to the birthday lunch of Lindsay Fox, great mate, of course, of the Premier. And today he has brazenly sacked a parliamentary budget officer called Anthony Close, an integrity officer who wrote a report criticising the Andrews government. Now, James, at what point do people say Victoria is so crook, this guy must go?
Oh, he's got to go. For him to say that the IBAC report is educational is like saying a dead person has a sore toe. This guy is running an administration that is mired in crookedness, corruption and controversy. And look, I hope he was careful with the stairs at the gallery at that birthday party, because we know he has issues with stairs when he's involved with certain other individuals. He's running this place as a personal fiefdom, and it's bad for Victoria.
Christy?
I think this is an element of arrogance, but we know that the press have let him get away with it for 2.5 years, Peter, standing up there making up an absolute spin on the corruption of the Andrews government and the government that he leads. He's Teflon, but I think Victorians are starting to wake up to the damage that he's done and the damage that he will continue to do.
What is it about Victoria? Dean Andrews, Lydia Thorpe, both from the same state. Christian James, thank you as always.